Hello everyone, Caroline here. In today's video, I want to share 3 card ideas with my Gelli Plate backgrounds from my previous video. So let's get started with card number 1. Card number 1 will be an Easter card, and I chose that background that has this stamped looking flowers in pink and yellow and green. And I created my own card base using a cardstock from my stash in this green color that matches very well the background. And I chose a die to cut out my background. Now I also cut out with the matching die to my stamp set from Altenew and cut out a bunch of flowers with that die in different colors. And then I'm gluing my background to make it more durable onto another piece of paper. It's just an old piece of sketchbook paper. And then I'm adding splatters with my distress stain in white, and also with my metallic watercolors. And I just want to give this background a little bit more texture by having those little shiny splatters on top. While that is drying, I'm choosing a bunch of different distress inks that match my cutouts there. And I will actually just ink up the edges or distress the edges. And I'm just using the matching color with the matching piece. I just want to give those pieces a little bit more dimension. And I'm also gonna distress the sentiment with the green. Then I'm cutting out my background with this Daisy May background die, this rectangle that fits perfectly on a 5x7 card. And then I'm arranging my cutouts on top of this oval that I attached with some foam tape to the background. And I'm trying to get it kind of like a arrangement going that looks even from the top and to the bottom of the sediment. And that oval that I cut out, that helps to lift this up from my background, and also helps me to attach all those cutouts. And then I'm just attaching here and there with liquid glue and also foam tape all these pieces in place. And I have in my stash this sheet of glitzer or glimmer shiny drops. I think they were left over from a Spellbinders kit from last year. And I thought they matched very well, so I just added them for my embellishment. And I also add a few drops of Nuvo in white, and also a few ones in Gold Coast. And this is the finished card. Okay. Card number 2. Card number 2 will be a sympathy card, and for that card I chose the background that is this is black with this purple and yellowish color in it. And I also cut out a piece from another background that has this pink and purple, and I cut the same piece with some vellum paper. Then I'm attaching my background to another piece and cut it out to a rectangle, and I attach this then to my purple piece of cardstock. And then I'm choosing a die, the edge die, and I'm gonna cut away the top and the bottom of my background here. Now I'm adding also for more texture some gold watercolor splatters. And also some white with my distress stain. Then I let that dry, and while that is drying, I'm using a little bit of this distress glaze and add this to my Gelli Plate cutout piece here. And I have this set of different embossing powders. This one that I choose is kind of a gold, a rough gold with some black in it. And I am using my vellum piece and add some razor mark and just randomly add this embossing powder. I don't want this completely covered, I just want bits and pieces. And I also rub this other piece that I cut out into the leftover there. And when I heat this up, it will have this very gold plated look, but also some black pieces in it. So it's very kind of antique looking. Now I attach my background to my card base, and then I am using those two pieces and intertwine them with each other and add them to the top of my background. And then I am adding my sentiment right in the middle on top. And in order to keep this really attached, I'm using an acrylic block and just lay it on top for a little bit. Then I use a ribbon, an organza ribbon in purple, and I'm just adding it on the side of my card and tie a little bow. And I just cut this leftovers away. And I'm also adding some Nuvo drops in Gold Coast. And here's the finished card. So for card number 3, I am using 2 different backgrounds, and I just rip them up to create like a middle piece. And I have a white piece of cardstock here that I used an embossing folder on, and you just saw this. It's an embossing folder from American Crafts, and it has this beautiful little leafy background. Fiddle a little bit with how I want to arrange this, but then I ripped up that piece and I attached another piece on top that I ripped with my ruler in like a wavy pattern, and I'm attaching that with some foam tape to lift it off this other piece. And then I'm just cutting this away, the leftovers. And I have this copper twine, and then just wrap this around my card 2 times or 3 times. And attach the back so it doesn't move around. And then I am attaching my background to my card base, and I chose kind of a craft paper here, or craft cardstock. Then I have my ribbon secured. Now I chose one of those wooden frame stickers from Jen Hatfield. I think that matches very well the whole color scheme, and it just says hello friend, and I just tuck this on there with some silicone glue. Then I tie my little twine there next to it, and then I have those flowers that I created with 2 dies. Actually, that's a 2 spellbinders die, 2 different ones. One is like a rose to make little roses, and the other one is just a regular flower die. And I just match them up and create my little roses, and then glue them into the other flower. And I cut those flowers with other pieces from my Gelli Plate backgrounds. And I actually, for this, for the rose flowers, I actually went ahead and I distress inked the back of it with pink. So the flower would have like not a white background, but a pink background, little roses. Then I am attaching those flowers again with my Coolant glue. And this glue is working like hot glue, but it gives a little bit dimension, but it's literally not hot, it's just cold. So when it's dry, it's literally looks like a clear hot glue. And then I'm attaching also my leaves underneath, arranging them so it looks nice. And then for final embellishment, I'm adding some Gold Coast Nude drops, and here's my finished card. And here are all the cards again in close-up. Here's the Easter card. And I hope you liked this video, and maybe I gave you a few ideas how you can use your backgrounds that you might have laying around in a box somewhere in your craft room. And so I hope this inspires you to use them. And of course, I hope I will see you in my next video. Please stay well. Until then, bye.